This is the C47 Black Sparrow. This honors a Midwestern crew. The pilot was from Michigan. The co-pilot was from Bloomington, Illinois. If you look at the nose art, you'll see that the pilot's philosophy of life was wine, women, and song. The Black Sparrow was his childhood nickname. We fly this plane to honor the veterans, to honor their kids, grandkids, and even great-grandkids now who come out to see it. We want people to be able to see, smell, hear, and touch these planes, not just see them hanging from the ceiling of a museum. That's what we're about. We're the Commemorative Air Force. We are the Great Lakes Wing, and we fly the C-47 to air shows. We drop paratroop demonstrations. We fly at military bases and reunions, and at local events like this one. I'm John Kowal. I'm the Public Information Officer for the Great Lakes Wing of the Commemorative Air Force. Welcome aboard.
Yes, my name is Steve Sikorsky. I'm with the Commemorative Air Force, Great Lakes Wing. We support the D-Day airplane, the C-47, which is the Black Sparrow. Short on power plants, these are two Pratt & Whitney R-1830s. They provide about 1,400 horsepower each. Fuel capacity is 804 gallons, and the airplane uses 110 gallons of fuel per hour at cruise. Each engine holds 30 gallons of oil. The wingspan is approximately 96 feet, which is relative to modern-day 737. Air cruise is about 140 to 150 miles an hour today. Seating capacity is of 27 fully equipped troops, although on D-Day the airplane was maxed out. We are based at Lansing Airport, which the call sign is IGQ. We've been here since 2004, which at that time prior we were at the Gary International Airport. So in closing, I would like to say thank you very much for your kind interest in our aircraft, and all support is duly appreciated, and have a nice day.
Good afternoon. My name is Colonel Bob Boss. I am the wing leader of the Great Lakes Wing of the Commemorative Air Force. The CAF, as we are called, is devoted for finding, restoring, and flying vintage aircraft that date all the way back from World War II up to the present. And our legacy is to actually tell the younger people, and matter of fact, all generations, about all the servicemen and the people who have given their lives since World War II up to the present with the type of aircraft flown. So by showing you the airplanes that were flown during this period of time, we can educate people as exactly what went on during these eras. Now, if you look behind you, you'll see a C-47, which is this particular aircraft, the exact replica of the aircraft that led the Normandy invasion, actually the lead aircraft in the 302nd Airborne Squadron. They built approximately 11,000 C-47s during the war. The airplane is actually a DC-3. And during the war, they determined that this was the only airplane that could actually carry out the mission that was required during that period. And that, of course, was to be able to carry paratroopers, which the aircraft was used for, as well as freight, cargo, ambulatory, literally everything. Eisenhower said this was one of the four aircraft, or actually one of the four instruments that helped win World War II. So if you look at the airplane, it's a marvelous replication of the airplane that led the Normandy invasion. I've had the opportunity to fly this airplane now for 15 years with the Great Lakes Wing. My background essentially comes from the airlines. I flew with United Airlines for 41 years. I actually started flying DC-3s as a co-pilot back in 1952. And of course, this is essentially a DC-3. So here, after a half a century, I'm back flying this airplane again, after flying all the way up through the 747. We take the Black Sparrow, as this particular airplane is called, to numerous air shows throughout the country to try and educate people about what was going on during all the wars, which included, by the way, this aircraft flew in not only World War II, but also Korea, Vietnam, even in Desert Storm they had used it. So that's the importance of this particular mission. Now, what we are specializing in here recently is paradrops. We work with reenactors, and we do many commemoration flights in which we actually show the people what it was like to have the paratroopers jump out of this aircraft during the war years. Now, just recently, we did an air show up at Janesville, Wisconsin, in which we had the opportunity, actually almost the honor, of having the Golden Knights, as well as the Navy Leapfrogs, jump out of our aircraft in what they called a mass exit. We had about 13 paratroopers drop out. This was the first time in history of the Golden Knights that anybody ever had jumped out of a C47. So they were pretty thrilled to do that. Today here at Lansing, we have the opportunity to give our rides to people. The donation helps keep the aircraft flying, and by the same token, we're able to now show the people exactly what kind of airplanes were used, particularly during World War II and Korea. So that's where we are today. It's a beautiful day. We're going to continue with our flying, and it's been our pleasure talking with you today, and we certainly hope to have the opportunity to talk with you again.
Skylar. I just got off the plane. Man, it's a great ride. It's a great experience. Being on the airplane that was so influential and delivered most of our troops, and the paratroopers, supplies, everything, during the war. It's a great experience, and it's awe-inspiring just being able to see what the troops saw as they're looking out through the windows, and the fact that you actually get to talk to the pilots and the other members of the Air Force and talk to them about some of their experiences. It was fantastic. I definitely can imagine exactly what it must have been like to be as a trooper as they're getting ready to jump out of that plane. It's definitely worth going on. I can imagine next time that they have another flight for a bomber or anything else here, I'll definitely be on that flight. It's a great experience. I definitely recommend it. Thank you.
This is Thomas Michael, and the first thing that I noticed on the DC-3 was the two prop engines and how loud they were. They're just monstrous engines with the props roaring. It was pretty awesome. And then when you got in the plane, you saw how open it was, as like a hollowed shell of a plane. And not only that, but you could sit there and you could see the pilots in action, and that's something you just don't see on commercial flights. Also, when we were flying over Lake Michigan, you got a chance to really look at everything, look at the landmarks. You could see the casino boats, and you could actually look over and see the dunes and the city of Chicago, the entire skyline. It was just a pretty amazing flight.
My name is Eddie Malloy. I live in Hammond, Indiana. I think I jumped out of this plane. I'm not sure. It was a long time ago when I was a youngster. This plane is humongous. It's really big, and if you went up to the door, you better go out because you're going to kick you out anyway if you didn't go out. So.
And where did you jump out at?
In Germany. Yeah, but we were walking and it was snowing, and the houses they built 2 stories, and on the bottom there's no basement or nothing. So they said, okay, fall out. We all fell out, went under, and went to sleep.
Okay. Anything else you want to say?
No, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, my name is Ed Malloy Jr. That was my father that just spoke, and he just turned 85 on July 26th, and we decided to give him this for a birthday gift. He jumped out of the C47 in World War II, landed in Normandy, a little farther down the beach, thank God, than where all the shooting was at. That's why he's still with us. He's also participated in the Battle of the Bulge. When I found out about this, I thought this would be a great birthday gift. We didn't know what else to get him, and he was very excited about it. He had some great memories. One of the things was a guy would say to him, "Well, do you want a cigarette before you jump out?" And he would say, "If I needed a cigarette, I'd be scared." It never bothered him to jump out. He always talked about jumping out, and heights never bothered him. And he did lose his brother in World War II, which is obviously a tough thing for him to talk about. But he was very excited about coming on here. Thanks a lot.
Hi, everyone. My name is Michael Sparber. I'm a member of the Great Lakes Wing of the Commemorative Air Force. I'm speaking to you today from Lansing Municipal Airport in Lansing, Illinois, which is the home of our C47 Black Sparrow World War II airplane that our wing keeps flying. This C47 rolled off the assembly lines the beginning of 1945. It's an actual historical educational museum, a World War II plane that lives on in history. It's approximately 65 years old. What our wing does through charitable contributions, through your contributions and your donations and sponsorships is keep this plane running. We get no other support, our Great Lakes Wing, but donations and contributions, so we can keep this part of history flying in the air for people to enjoy. Between April and October of every year, we do many, many air shows and missions throughout the United States. This year, as an example, we dropped parachute reenactors out at Andrews Air Force Base, Janesville, Wisconsin, Wright-Patterson, Fort Campbell, Kentucky. We've flown up to Baraboo, Wisconsin, down to Indianapolis, and we still have several shows, including Fort Polk and maybe Fort Benning to do during the season before we wrap it up. Since we're based here in Lansing, which is a wonderful consumer-friendly airport, we offer on the weekends that we're not doing air shows, we offer passenger rides for those of you that want to come out and experience what World War II veterans, what our paratroopers experienced during World War II. You can take an actual ride for 30-some minutes out over Lake Michigan from Lansing, back just east of the beautiful Chicago skyline. You can take your cameras aboard. The price is very reasonable, and those of you that are 18 or over can enjoy and know what it was like to fly on these planes. That's part of my job as public relations and marketing, which is one of my areas that I serve as during the past year that I've been in the wing. We do a lot of public relations and marketing to bring the awareness of what we call our Flying Educational Historical Museum for your pleasure and for your knowledge, to educate you about one of the workhorses of World War II, and the C47 certainly was. Without it, I don't know if we would be victorious or how many more years it was. This was basically the way to get paratroops on the ground, fly the injured out, supply ammunition and cargo to our troops in action, and served very, very proudly. If you'd like to be a member of our Great Lakes Wing, we have room for you. Being a member is a lot of fun. To actually get to work on the plane, I assist on the ground crew. You actually get to go to some of the air shows and rotate with the other members. If you love aviation, if you're a private pilot, if you're a commercial pilot, this is a great way to have some fun and hobby during the season from April to October. That's one of the reasons I couldn't resist. So again, membership is open. So is our website for you to view and get more knowledge and information on this wonderful World War II aircraft. Our website is www.greatlakeswing.org. Again, www.greatlakeswing.org. You'll find where to email for times and dates of our passenger rides, and you can contact us by phone at 847-364-7232. Again, 847-364-7232. I want to thank you for your interest in the Black Sparrow, and we hope to see you out here very soon to get a ride on this wonderful museum that stands beside me. Thank you.